The brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn. Scott Kirby, Lloyd Kirby, Jim Ash, and Sam White joining us this morning. Morning, Sam.
Good morning.
I don't know where the Bopsy twins are at this morning. It's 9 o'clock. It's go time, and no Joe, no Jake. And that's a no-call, no-show, Jim. They're going to get pointed, written up, and fined. And it's a very hefty fine. We're going to talk some youth football today. We got some camps coming up. We're already at the end of June. Youth football usually kicks off end of July, mid-July?
Yeah, first camp is with the high school. We do it every year with them, and this year we're kind of combining some stuff with them. First day of the camp is July 15th, which is a Monday. We'll do the 16th, and then we take a day off because the high school is actually supposed to be playing an 11-on-11 that day, which ended up getting moved. But we're going to do camp on Monday and Tuesday out at the high school.
There he is, Waffle Boy.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Glad to see you can make it on time, Joe.
Had to get that waffle.
Yeah.
Time more than you were, buddy.
Yeah.
We're on the air, by the way.
Yeah, we are on the air.
That's good.
So, camp with the high school.
Normally we do it out at our place. This year we're going to use the high school's facilities. The youth program is always tagged on the end of it a combine that I started a couple years ago. It was just something to get the kids interested and compete for something. So we're going to do 2 days of camp, have a day off, and then we're going to do our combine, which is usually 6 events, and we give little, certificates out for top 3 in each age group for each division. We try to make it as fun as we can. We do like 40-yard dash, pump pass kick, stuff like that, standing long jump. And this year we can use the track, and it's more open for us, and having the bleachers for the parents if they want to come on the combine day. It's nice, it's fun, and it gets them rolling right into the season, because then that following Sunday, or the Sunday prior to that, we have our parent meeting out at the high school. And then we take a couple weeks off, and then we roll right into the season. First day of practice is the 5th. But throughout the off season, we worked with trainer Austin Curtis he owns the Performance Lab in Bloomington, and he contracts with the high school to run the weight room for him. And he approached me and asked if we wanted to do like a youth program. And we opened it up to everybody, not just football players, and we just called it Lincoln Speed and Strength, and we do it 2 days a week out at the high school, and it's like about an hour and a half. And so far we've had about 25, 30 kids out at every session, and
It's awesome.
it's a great program. I mean, just the strides we've seen the high schoolers make with Austin since he came in and right after Thanksgiving. If he can do half of that with our youth kids, I'll be extremely happy. So.
Yeah, and that's very important to have. Football is strength, endurance, agility, and a lot of these big schools, that are successful every year, Rochester, SHG, Chatham, they've already had that instilled.
Right.
So,
and that was kind of what started all that. Was we saw that what these other programs were doing, and Coach Silkowski and I talked about it. We said we need to start something. Maybe we can morph and evolve over time and become a more regimented program, but for right now the 2 days a week seems to be working, and kids make it when they can. And
yeah, and that was going to be my next question. How do you get these kids to buy into that? It's summertime, and I don't want to go to the weight room. It's 100 degrees out, but you got to instill that determination and that dedication in these kids. And that's got to be a tough thing to do these days.
Yeah, most kids just want to sit around and play Fortnite or whatnot. And, I know for years, even when my oldest was in junior high, I'd go to like an awards program and I'd say, who's that kid? Who's that kid? I've never seen him. Well, a lot of kids don't want to do that. And we've seen numbers decline at the high school too in all sports, except for maybe football. Football's remained steady. But you just have to push to those. It's almost a word of mouth thing with those kids. It's like, get your buddies out here, because your success is built in the off season, not during the season. And once they kind of grasp it and understand it, and they can see the results of what they're doing, it makes it worth it, and then it just gets better from there.
Well, you got to think the kids in the youth program, little extra motivation, little extra oomph, seeing what the high school did last year, making the playoffs, and that program's up on the rise, and it's got to be, winning cures all things, and for the young kids to see that, hopefully that gives them that drive to come out for football, stay with it, work at it, because it's not just a seasonal sport. That's something that you got to work on year round, just like any sport. Lifting weights, working on your endurance, your speed, your agility, all that stuff, fundamentals. So it's not just, coming out day one of practice and then practicing playing football for 2.5, 3 months and then be done with it. It's something that you got to really work on year round.
Yeah, we've always said, success is your best recruiting tool. Mm-hmm. And the better your teams are, the more people want to play. And we've seen that at the high school this year. I'm seeing a lot of kids come in that I don't know them. They didn't play in my program, so maybe the high school's success has kind of given that extra bump to want to come play. So, but our numbers are up. Our numbers are up though.
Yeah, that's good.
Like last year we had over 150 football players, mm-hmm. and we had 80 some cheerleaders. And this year the numbers will probably, our registration is still open until July 14th. We're seeing similar numbers. I think right now I've got 125 registered football players, and our cheer program just had their meeting the other day. They've got almost 100.
And that's great.
It's crazy.
I remember back when my oldest son played, it was only 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Right.
And then I think Bryson was maybe a kindergartner. That's when we started those younger kids, getting involved and having them play. And you see it build up. We had a bunch of kids back then, but unfortunately, a lot of those kids didn't play in high school. They played youth football, and that was it. So they kind of dwindled away. Are you seeing these kids kind of stick with it and going, to the next level as a freshman, sophomore, and above?
Yeah, I'd say, looking at the numbers for incoming freshmen that played for us, I think we only lost 2 from the 8th grade to freshman transition. Maybe 3, but then throw in the 5 or 6 that we've never seen before. Our numbers are actually getting bigger, and I've always said that my goal was to send at least 15 freshmen every year to the high school, and I think we've got
What we seen this year, yeah.
18 or 19 freshmen, I think. So we had 13 or 14 8th graders last year. Now, of course, sometimes we can't count all those numbers because some of those kids come from communities that don't go to Lincoln High School, like Hardham and Mount Pulaski.
Right. Unfortunately.
They don't have anywhere to go. I mean, Pulaski gets to play with LSA, but they don't have a youth program that they're attached to. So,
Right. So we groom them for the next level,
Yes.
and then move on.
Yep.
But they don't get as much attention, right? It just
No, we just do our best to say, hey, you ever want to move to Lincoln?
there's
We've
spots for it.
had some really good players throughout the years from both Hardham and Pulaski that you go, boy, I wished you lived in Lincoln.
Yeah.
I really do. I remember when my oldest was in 8th grade, we had probably the best wide receiver I've ever coached, and he went to Pulaski, started for LSA as a freshman, scored a couple touchdowns, moved out of Pulaski, and then never played football again.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you could get a housing complex together where we can move them in for their 4 years,
Yeah.
it'll work. I think that's legal.
You got some extra rooms out there.
Not have any rooms, but
You have
yeah.
rooms. You have a basement.
I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'd be excellent recruiting.
Yes. Yeah. Not illegal at all.
No.
You think we'll have the numbers to, now last year, high school wise, did we have the numbers to play, that's more of a Coach Silkowski question, but did we have the numbers to play 2 lower levels or no?
No, we didn't have a freshman only team. We had a JV and varsity, and we'll do the same this year.
They will.
Because the numbers
So
are
are most of the other schools, right?
Yeah. Looking at Central State, I think there's like maybe 2 programs that have an all freshman team. And I think when we were in the Apollo, the only one that I can recall that had it was Muhammad.
Yeah, those numbers are just
Yeah.
it's unbelievable that you don't have enough kids to do that. But it's everywhere, not just Lincoln.
Oh yeah, I mean, in our youth program, we're seeing some communities have a huge uptick in numbers. We're one of the higher ones. Olympia has almost 2 teams at every level. Prairie Central has 2 teams at every level, but then you get into some of the even smaller towns, and they can't field a varsity squad of 7th and 8th graders because they don't have enough kids. I know one of the teams said they only had 3 7th graders sign up, and then no one else.
Well, a lot of those smaller schools are moving to 8-man football because of it. And I went over to Bushnell last fall to watch an 8-man game, and can't say I'm a big fan. It's not the same. If you have speed, you're going to be good.
Right.
I mean, obviously they shorten the field a little bit, but it's just, I mean,
It's narrower too.
it's narrower. I think
it's still 100.
I think it's still 100, but it is narrower.
Never seen a game.
Yeah, it's different. Speed kills in 8-man football, and it's different. I mean, you're limited to what you can do. Obviously, you're 3 guys short. So sometimes you're not going to run a tight end. You might run, a fullback or running back, and it's weird, and a wide receiver. But I mean, that's what they got to do if you want to play football in those smaller schools. I mean, 8-man football is the way to go, and now it's a part of the IHSA.
It's great for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just old school. I want the line out there. And
I want 11 guys out there, but you got to do what you got to do, and if that's what they have to do to be able to have a program, then good for them, and they still are going and competing.
And there are some teams that we've seen that, like Fisher, for example, 2 years ago didn't even have a varsity team for high school. Now their numbers are getting a little bit better, and they have enough to field a team. But you've seen a couple schools around the state that have taken like a year or 2 off from the varsity level because they don't have the upperclassmen in which to fill a team.
Yeah, and that just puts them so far behind too. I mean,
Fisher
Yeah, you-
changed that nickname, it would help too.
The bunnies, they're pretty
The
fierce.
bunnies?
Yeah.
It just doesn't strike.
Their youth program's
Bunnies.
pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple years ago, they gave us a good licking, so.
So let's talk about some dates and times for these camps for the high school and the JFL. It's coming up, what, next week?
Yeah. So first day of, well, the 14th is our parent meeting, and then we follow that right up on the 15th of July.
Okay.
So not this, a couple weeks away. We'll do 3 days of camp, which is the 15th, 16th, and then our combine day is the 18th, which is a little longer of a day, but kids love it. I mean, they, get to compete against each other. And I think, normally we run the same 6 events. I think this year we're gonna change it up a bit and try to throw in. So we're gonna get a little more official. Like Austin, the trainer, he's gonna bring out his laser timer so we can do official 40s, and we might do a vertical jump test. He's got a jump pad that measures how long you're off the ground and all that good
We
stuff.
maybe should do that.
Yeah, you guys come out.
I don't know it goes that low. A fraction of a
Not
second.
much air under there.
Yeah, get you guys be like our Rich Eisen. Get
Yeah.
you guys out there and do all the events.
If you want a good show and a good laugh, we'll be there.
Lloyd can come out and film it.
We're looking for ratings.
Look for injuries too.
Yeah, he's dedicating a lot of time out there, and he's doing a good job.
Oh, Austin? Yeah, he's amazing. He's great with the kids. I've never heard a bad thing about him. It's always he pushes us in all the right ways, and he gets in our butt a little bit, but it's the right way, and the results are there. I mean, we're seeing it with especially with the football players for the high school that didn't participate in a spring sport, that were just dedicated to going to him. And I know a lot of them go up to his place in Bloomington and put in extra time. He's a football guy, and he's all about it, which is great.
I've seen it kind of firsthand with even in the college level, Illini, they have Fletch over there as their personal trainer. And the difference that he makes these kids look from day one to even, a couple months down the road is amazing. How he transforms their bodies and, gets them in shape, because this day and age, there's a lot of injuries, ACL tears, MCL, all that stuff, and strengthening that core, what he does to those kids, even in college, where they're still developing, but they're, they've kind of hit their peak on their growing and all that. It's just how he transforms those kids is amazing. And to start young like this, to get them stronger and get through the high school level, and hopefully that prevents a lot of injuries, being more stronger, more agile, it makes a huge difference. And for him to come in and be dedicated to it and wanting to do it, that's that's a pretty good asset for the football program.
Oh, it's huge. And I mean, we were like, even to see small differences when I talk to some of our players that go to him at the youth level, I always check in, are you having fun? Are you learning? And like my son, he's going into 8th grade. He was running one day and he ran so much faster on his second run. And I said, what'd you do different? He says, well, I remembered what Austin was telling us. And like, it's amazing how you inherently don't know how to run right. And that's what he's doing, is he's teaching them proper movement and developing the muscle strength and the endurance throughout the teachings. And for Logan to say, well, yeah, I just remembered what Austin said. It's already working. So
Yeah, well, sometimes they'll listen to somebody else instead of dad or
Many times.
coach or,
Never said that.
but that's good. That's, like I said, that's a great asset for the high school, even all sports out there. I'm sure he's working with all of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, all the programs are still coming in, and he does it in 2-hour blocks. I know he has football early, and then boys soccer comes in. Girls dance was in yesterday. I mean, all the programs are using him.
He's getting used and abused.
And he's got a great little facility there too.
I've never been up there, but our weight room's pretty nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's real
absolutely.
nice, yeah. Is he having a lot of them go up there to him?
I know some of the football players were going up on like Sundays. I think they moved it to Fridays now, but I mean, they just do football stuff while they're there. I know Frank Sanders, Peyton Bunner, Zach
man.
Poole.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all big into going. I know a couple of our other guys. We even got some incoming freshmen that have been going up there. So, it's nice to see the drive that these kids want to get better and are willing to put in the work, which over the last few years as a whole, you didn't see that from most kids that were none of them were really willing to put in the extra time in the off season.
Got to put in the time, right, Joe?
Exactly right. That's why I'm getting a waffle.
It's getting cold. You want us to take a
That's
break?
why we need a break.
All right, well, let's take a break. We'll be back with more here on the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM, broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn. Joe finally showed up with his waffles in hand. Is that lemon?
Lemon waffles.
Yeah,
today.
lemon waffles.
Delicious. You guys ever had a lemon waffle?
Yeah.
Can't say that I have.
I hadn't either.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's tasty.
You better pop out and get one. They'll be closed when you leave here.
Yeah. Sam White joining us this morning, talking a little high school football, youth football. Joe asked the question off air about fundraisers, and you guys are changing it up this year. Tell us a little bit about the fundraiser you guys have planned.
So normally we would do a push-up-a-thon, but it conflicts with baseball too much, and a lot of our kids can't get out. So this year we decided we're going to do a just like a cash drawdown. Get every kid to sell 10 tickets, $10 each, and each subsequent home game will have a bigger prize. We haven't figured out the monetary amount yet, but we're hoping that we could do 250, 500, 750, 1,000 maybe at the last game. So if we get all the tickets sold.
Yeah, and it's easier to do. You have all.
And we don't lose a practice because typically with the push-up-a-thon we say, it's only going to take 20 minutes. No, and then you have kids who aren't there at practice that day, so you have to find another day to make up with them, and plus
much work.
They don't like doing push-ups anyway.
Right. And fundraisers are, They're key because to run a youth football program is not cheap. You
No,
know,
and
equipment itself is outrageous, and you have to refurbish certain stuff every year. Yeah, you could jack up the entry fees, you know, for the kids, but then you're going to deter a lot of kids because, let's face it, the way the economy is these days, a lot of families don't have that extra money
we did
to
actually
do that.
have to raise our prices by $25 for tackle kits. We kept flag the same, but for tackle we did have to raise it because when I first helped run it, when I took over a couple years ago, we could get one of our helmets painted our color for $110. Now green is no longer a standard color, and you have to pay an additional $25 per helmet to get them painted, and now they're $180 or $190. And it's just super expensive now, and we send our helmets off. We send half of them off every year to get reconditioned, and that price has gone up. And they find a defect, and they charge you to put a new face mask on it because it wasn't in perfect condition when they got it. Our uniforms, we do new uniforms every year, well, tops. So that's not too bad. We work with a company out of Florida that we get them at a relatively good price, especially since they're completely custom when we work with them. But I priced getting new game pants this year, and to match the ones that we have, they're $90 for a pair of pants. And then we have practice pants, practice jerseys, and like we provide everything we can for the kids. The only thing we don't provide is cleats, but we have probably 150 pairs out there at the shed that have been donated over the years, and a girdle, which they're not even required to have either. But everything else is provided.
Yeah, and it takes money, and like I said, it's not a cheap sport. And fundraisers, you got to have them.
Yeah, so during our parent meeting, I always put together a big presentation on what it costs to put your player on the field, and the cost of insurance is added in there. And last year, I haven't done the math this year, but last year it was $509 per player to put them on the field with all of their equipment and the cost of insurance.
Yeah.
And then that's not even counting what it costs to host a game. Hosting a game before we get gate fees costs me $1,500 because we have 4 referees at $250 each for 3 games. We have a trainer that we pay now. We pay our sideline crews and our scorekeepers and all that stuff. We pay a guy to film. It gets expensive.
Yeah.
And how are you on equipment? Are you good? Like with the growing numbers, you got enough stuff?
Yeah. We a couple years ago we were in big panic mode. We had a lot more kids come in than we had anticipated, and we reached out to neighboring communities for any equipment they were willing to give us. And Athens, Chatham, Olympia all gave us helmets and shoulder pads if we needed them, and that gave us time to order new ones. And so we just prior to last season, I ordered 50 brand new helmets just to make up the difference because we were 15 helmets short, and then we saw our numbers were still going up. But another thing that helps is so we're affiliated with USA Football, which is affiliated with the NFL. They give out grants every year through Riddell. In fact, just yesterday I ordered 4 brand new pairs of like higher end shoulder pads. They gave us $500, and then they're going to let me know, but we're in talks of getting like an AED from one of their health programs, and that stuff helps. And a lot of programs don't even realize that's an option for them.
Right.
Because if you're not affiliated with USA Football, you don't know about it. It doesn't cost you anything to be affiliated.
I say it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free, and you get bigger you get a better chance of getting grants if like all of your coaches are certified, and and we do require it. We require all of our coaches to go through their training, and they think it's just going to be like some little video they have to watch. No. It's if it's your first time through, it's about 15 tests of about 20 questions each, and you have to get an 80% or better on them, or else you just have
online.
All online. Yeah, there are other options. I know a couple years ago when we were in the Peoria area league, they had a coach's clinic where that would substitute for your qualifications. You just go to the clinic for a whole day. It's like 8 hours and you're done.
So how are you on coaches? Plenty of coaches?
No. No, and people ask me because of our high numbers of kids, people always suggest maybe we split teams or, have 2 at every level, which we could possibly do, but we just don't have the coaches to do it. We might have 3 or 4 coaches at every level, and to have to double that, it's almost impossible. Parents are very busy, and I understand that, and I see what happens when you dedicate yourself to it, because it just kind of becomes what you are. And
For you, year round when you're doing
Oh,
when you're running it.
Then
Yeah.
it just turns into a scheduling nightmare, trying to pick up more games for those extra teams, and it's
I can attest to that. I foolishly volunteered with the league this year to make the entire league schedule, and it's like trying to fit the biggest square peg in a round hole, because you have teams saying, we can't host this day, or we have to host this day, or we don't have a varsity team, or we have 2 teams at every level but not varsity, we only have 1, and just going back and forth. And you think you get the schedule done, you're like, wait a minute, they've already played this team. Then you have to go back and follow the trail and try to reverse it. And, that was about 3 weeks of my life.
I would say, but I think when things go wrong, they won't blame you, will they?
when things go wrong, they blame, but when they go right, nothing's said.
But it was, I enjoyed doing it, but it was stressful. For
That's
sure.
a lot of work.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants to drive somewhere and pull up to a field and the other team isn't there.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Yeah, I remember about 6 or 7 years ago, we were waiting on Pekin to come here, and nobody was here, and we're like, hey, where are you guys at? They're like, oh, you guys are here.
We're waiting for you to get here.
And it was just our director at the time had put the wrong, location on the schedule, and so we just packed up the cars and drove as fast as we could over to Pekin. And
Oh, did you pack up and go play?
and we won. So
Well, there you go.
we kind of felt like Rochester. We got out of the cars, walked onto the field, stretched for about 2 minutes, and won a game and left.
Yeah, those guys are all worn down. They've been there the whole time.
Waiting around. That's good. Good philosophy there. Good game plan. So yeah, getting ready to get in the thick of things here. It's always fun. You've moved all your games out to the high school. You're not playing any at Eaton Field, but
Nope. It's there as a backup if we need it. But.
Yeah, I know it's always fun when I'm driving home from work, driving by Eaton and seeing all those kids out there practicing, and it's always, and we've been doing it for years, and it's.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have the space and for them to work with us. It's been a blessing to have the opportunity, just to, because you think of, well, what if we had to move? Where would we go? I have no idea.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, can't go to Lincoln College. Maybe LCU if we could get it, but I hope that's not anywhere near in the future. I'm happy where we're at. Parking situation's a little bad, which is part of the reason why we love.
Yeah, it
playing
gets
out
a
the high
little
school.
Dicey out there at times when parents come to pick up their kids and
People are going to
parking
and getting
along
off
the
work.
side of the road, eating, getting off work. Yeah, it's
kind of a traffic nightmare, but we're doing our best. I know Eaton wants to keep everybody safe. That's the biggest thing, is you don't want kids running out in the middle of the pathway and getting hit. So we cover that in our parent meeting, and I send emails with maps and traffic flows. Don't park here, drive this direction. This is a one-way.
Some of them don't read the map.
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
No.
Or it's a grandma or grandpa dropping the kid off when they weren't at
For the
the parent
first
meeting.
time, yeah.
And we try to work with them. You will have a few hiccups here and there at the beginning of the season, but once we speak to them and emphasize, the safety aspect of everything, we don't really have too many problems.
Right.
Yeah, it's like everything else. The people that are at work at Eaton, they're either trying to get there or trying to get out of there.
Yeah, and we don't want to get in their way
that's-
either. So
Yeah, that is the only problem there. Now, if we could talk to the county and have them widen the road and put some stuff on, that'd be something else you could take on.
we just try to get them to put a parking lot in or something.
We know people at the county, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll get Bo on the
Get this
phone.
all done. Yeah. You got some relatives that can get this done for us.
You got some pull there.
Yeah.
Let's give Bo a call and tell him to give us a parking lot out there.
Yeah, that might work.
Speaking of Bo, Austin's got a birthday coming up, right?
Next weekend, I think. Next week, 21.
21. Oh
next week.
gosh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're
they're-
getting old, Joe.
I am old, but
All the
getting
O'Donohues
there.
are busy today, though, with the St. Jude.
I was going to say,
run.
now, do you know the little, I don't know all, I was going to ask you about it. Do you know the St. Jude run? Do you know what, know more about it?
Well, I know that they're leaving today at 12:30 from the Legion. I don't know where all their stops are, just different towns. And
I didn't know if there was a way for anyone that maybe was listening that wanted to donate. They get a hold of Cassidy or.
yeah, they would have to get a hold of Cassidy.
That's who hit me up.
And I know they're doing like a band somewhere, and I think they're at maybe 5 or 6 stops throughout the day, and They'll do an auction in Emden to raise money, and it seems to be pretty successful.
Oh, it's very cool.
Yeah, I know my wife is always excited for it. I mean, she loves going for Jeep rides anyways, but I was just telling Scott earlier, my Jeep has been donated to be used today, driving the son's truck, and my mom and my son are riding in my Jeep, and
Makes me want to have a Jeep.
they're fun.
Get a
It's
Jeep.
Another expense.
Yeah.
Another parking spot.
That's right. No, you got to get rid of stuff.
And mine's my everyday driver, so
Yours, that's what you're doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
I drive my Jeep every day.
So how's gas? They good? We've really changed subjects now. I always hear that it's just horrible gas. I've never had
Mine's
it,
not bad, but I have a smaller engine, so.
Well, it
I think
depends
I
where you drive to, Joe. If you're just driving around town, it can't be too bad. But if you're making long trips to drive out of town for work, I'm sure it'd get pretty pricey.
And I mean, they are a lot of fun. I mean, it's like having a convertible, and
Yeah.
then more. You know.
Well, we should ask old Jake, but his is like fancy,
Well, yeah,
electric.
Jake's
and-
driving a Taj Mahal on wheels.
Where is Jake?
Who knows? Where is he when he's here?
Not here.
Mine's never
He's
here.
here physically, but
Yeah, I hope you're
mentally,
listening, Jake. Yeah, his Jeep's fancy. We're not getting one of those.
No.
It's another house payment.
Yeah.
But the Jeep run a day for St. Jude's.
Yeah, it's a great cause.
Oh,
Raise
yeah,
a lot of
it's
money.
the greatest thing.
Now, do they move? Don't they do a run too, like a St. Jude run?
Yeah, I
from-
know. I know. A couple years ago, Cassidy and Austin ran in it. I'm pretty sure Cassidy's running it this year. I'm not too sure, but I think they start. I know the run typically goes from Nashville to Peoria.
Yeah, it's quite. The Jeep thing sounds a little better than
Yes, it does. And I've
probably
been on a few of them.
participate.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well, Sam, thanks for joining us today. Anything else you want to throw out there for our listeners and viewers to?
I mean, just
Take in.
registration deadline for our season is July 14th. That's the day of our parent meeting. So if you haven't done it by then, you just want to show up to the parent meeting, we can get you registered, and it'll be here before you know it. First practice is August 5th, and the first game is August 31st, and we'll play at least 8 games, if not 9, at every level, and be over by the end of October.
Yeah, and playing in the
Well, it's here.
dead of the summer heat. Gets hot out there. at
And
the
then it gets
beginning.
cold at the
Then
end.
it gets cold, but yeah, get out there and get signed up as early as possible because you have to have 10 practices in before you can play a game.
That is
so
correct. Now, we do, the league did change something a couple years ago. Baseball practices for school count as a football practice.
Oh, really?
So
That's
that's
cool.
nice.
Yeah, it is, and it's not.
Yeah, I mean, they can
helps
still
them
play.
get on the field.
They can
Yeah.
still play, but they're not going to know the playbook and their assignments, and so just get out there.
It helps them get
Kids
on
are
the
young;
field.
they can go to baseball practice and then football practice.
Now, my team every year we've always done, because of junior high baseball, we do optional Sunday practices as well to
Yeah.
count. So if you can make it, you can make it.
Yeah.
And we always try to, with the high school always does a pancake fundraiser. I used to always tell the kids back when Ryan was playing that if you show up on Sunday, I'll buy your breakfast. I'm not doing that anymore. Last year we had like 30 kids show up on, because we have almost 40 kids on the team. So yeah, not doing that
Showed
anymore.
up for breakfast. They got you.
they keep walking
called
in. You're like,
Called your bluff.
Yeah.
oh boy, it's going to be expensive.
Can you send
though.
me a bill?
Yeah, can I?
Now, if you listed the top 10 officials that come out there, where would Scott fit in? And remember, he's
Probably
sitting
not top 10.
Oh, he's definitely top 10, but that's only because I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Yeah, I've kind of
here. Backing off of that.
Yeah, the scheduling and just the
The heat.
and the oldness, and it just takes up a whole day. And
Well, we might have some openings for slots this year if you
yeah,
want.
well, we'll see.
We'll work with him. We'll kind of
Come out of retirement.
We'll get him in training and get him in shape.
You're going to come
and
out
get
there
him
with?
back.
If you do it, I'll do it.
It's during NFL Sundays.
Saturday. We play on Saturday.
When I stopped doing it, they were playing on Sundays. I think you guys just transitioned, a couple years ago to Saturdays?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, is
It's
it?
been that long.
Yeah. You know what? You're right, because I remember having to leave here to go
Yeah.
ref. Yeah.
Sometimes
But
you
no,
wear
yeah, I
your-
mean, it's
your
fun.
uniform in.
It's fun. Love being out there with the kids, but
And you know what
and
really helps?
3 games in a day. Boy, by that third game, woo,
Yeah.
ankles and knees are just throbbing.
But now that we play at the high school, the fans are further away. You can't
Yeah.
hear them quite as much.
We'll get turf out there. It's going to be easier on your
Oh,
feet,
Yeah.
on your
You
knees.
just got to listen to guys like me yelling at you from the sideline.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, hey, nobody's perfect. Now I know I screwed up a lot, but if you act like you know what you're doing, you're okay.
Yeah.
You may not know what you're doing.
Just got to stick to your guns.
Right. You know. Be,
Well, a lot of
be sure
parents know
about
what they're
yourself. Oh, a lot of parents know all the rules, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They know the best plays, too.
Yeah, and you just laugh it off and
Continue on. That's why it's fun.
well, I mean, it's not just youth football trying to find refs. We talked to Coach Al about just refs overall in all sports.
Yeah.
And it's tough to get this younger generation involved in it. And
I know the IHSA put out a little informational flyer a year or so ago that said that they had a list of all the numbers of refs for each sport, and all of them have gone down, and the average age of the refs have gone up.
yeah,
So it went from the average age was 54 to now it's 58. So no new blood coming into the mix. Lincoln's got some a good handful of high school kids and recent graduates that are doing baseball. So that helps.
yeah.
I just think basketball would be the worst.
Oh,
Everybody's right on
gosh.
top of you.
There's
And,
no way I could do
I
basketball.
couldn't either.
Because I'm a fantastic official up in the stands. I know it all. But once you get on that court and people looking at you, yelling at you,
And there's a lot going on in a quick. At least football kind of stops.
yeah, you get a little.
And you play, and then
Yeah.
you stop. Basketball is just you can miss stuff. It just happens.
And they do.
Yeah,
And
they
just
get told
human
about it.
error, and when we tell them about it, right, Joe?
I think Coach Al's usually really nice with them.
Oh yeah, he's very polite with them.
Yes, I think he is. Yes, we all know that.
You do firsthand.
I know, I've been yelled at.
He'll get after the clock operator if you're not doing it right.
I still have nightmares about it.
Was that week 1 when you were doing the play clock?
No, I ran from that. I got to tell you what, that was scary.
Tell that story. We need to go.
Well, with the you're at the scores table. Here in a couple years, the shot clock has been
yeah.
implemented. Looks like 2025.
Is it 25, 26, or 26, 27?
Yeah, something like that. But that's just another responsibility. That's tough.
That'll be another person at the bench. Now we did run it for the turkey tournament last year.
and I think it went well.
So
Well,
you
we
had
were-
one person that ran just that.
Yeah, and we were lucky enough because Dave Lockenauer used to do it for Lincoln College.
Oh, that's right.
So,
That's true.
and he was already on our scorers bench anyway, so it was great for him to be there. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. You get somebody there that don't.
Right.
That's a
Somebody on the football field that's never ran it
Yeah.
and has no readers, so he can't see it. And they hand it to him and say, "Hey, we're kicking off." Just running around behind people going. I finally walked up to an official and said, "Hey, man, I can't see this thing. I don't know how it works." He goes, "Shut it off." And then Al calls and goes, why isn't that clock running? I said, "Man, I can't see the thing. I don't have any readers. I don't know how it works." He said, "I'll be right over and use my readers." I said, "That's not going to help me. I don't know how the thing works."
Joe.
It was a problem.
Yeah.
I was there to enjoy the game, not fight that clock.
Well, that's what you get for going down on the sidelines.
Yeah, I got to stay away from that.
Stay away. Stay away from
I
the
don't
action.
get near that volunteering thing anymore.
No.
I can hold a stick. That's
Yeah,
it.
we know.
Oh, Coach Al chewed on me one time at the Turkey Day tournament when a ball got loose. The kid got hammered down here, and I couldn't believe there was a call, and I just stopped and was like, you have that pause where you just go, "What? How could you not call that?" And the ball ended up bouncing down here and going out of bounds, and I didn't stop the clock, and then all of a sudden I heard somebody go, "Joe!" And I turned, it's him, looking all like this at me. I was like, bang, stopped it.
Sorry, sir.
Stop the clock.
Yeah, so.
The crowd will let you know.
Al let me know. Let me know, is that a word? He let me know.
Is now past tense.
Yeah, you could have known. There you go. We're good with words on this show. I don't know if you know
we're
that or not, but
very intelligent.
we have a high vocabulary. Some words you may not know, but we said them, so they're probably right.
Well, let's take
Manito.
let's take another commercial break so Joe can finish his cold waffle, and we'll be back after these messages. We're back here on the cheap seats. Boy, it's like our first day.
Yeah, how's this work again? This new technology.
This wireless stuff is great.
You're
back here at the Hampton Inn with Joe Ryan, Sam White, Lloyd Kirby, Jim Ash, talking some youth football, high school football, officiating. Let's talk about it all. You want to talk some NFL? That's right around the corner, too. You're a big Detroit Lions fan.
I am.
New? Did you just become?
No, he's been a Detroit fan for
just giving you trouble. I know.
a long time. Back in during all the struggles, and now that they're
only simple years.
Yeah.
Now that they're good, and now it's even more enjoyable.
Yeah, as a Lions fan, you don't go into the season with like extremely high hopes. You just say, I think we're going to be good, and I hope we're going to be good, but deep down you go, yeah, we've got the tools. We're going to be good, but you don't say it out loud.
Oh, I always say it out loud, and it always bites me in the butt.
Oh, yes,
but,
it does.
Yeah, but this year I'm excited again. That NFC North is looking pretty strong with, what the Bears did the offseason, and, the Packers, they really improved towards the end of the year last year. And you got Detroit. Don't know about Minnesota. They're kind of, I think they missed their window. They got one heck of a wide receiver. In Jefferson, but after that, it's.
Well, you as a Bear fan, how do you feel about your new quarterback?
Right now, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at that offense. There's a lot of talent on offense, but I loved it last year too, and I love it every year. And it always comes.
You picked them a 12-game winner last year.
I did, and
they came up a little shy.
If they would have won some of them close games, they would have been right there.
Yep.
The Denver game, the Detroit game. There's about 3 or 4 there that they had it and they blew it. But I'm excited. A lot of weapons that they've picked up on the offseason. New quarterback, obviously. He's supposed to be a generational quarterback, but that's all good on paper. You got to go out on the field and prove it.
Yeah, I think they said a lot of the same thing about Fields, though.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I don't know if Fields may go over there and have some success.
He may.
Is that Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. I like Fields. Once he gets settled in, he missed a lot of reads, missed a lot of open guys, but he's a scrambler.
He did some damage
with his legs. And, if they would have kept Fields, it wouldn't have bothered me, But they put some pieces around Williams where he's expected to have success this year with, you bring in Keenan Allen, you have DJ Moore, you go out and get a Zune from Washington, another wide receiver. They've probably, on paper, they probably have one of the best receiving cores in the game. And then you go out and get Swift and,
he's been tough.
Another tight end to go with Kmet.
The question is will the offensive line be there for them?
Yeah, I think if you look at what they did last season, they really improved as an offensive unit on the line. I still think they need another edge rusher to go along with Sweat. But I'm always excited.
You're saying 12 games then?
You 12? Yeah, I'm at 12 again.
Lions at 12?
Maybe. I don't like to put a number on it because I don't want to sound I don't have any faith in my team by putting a low number, but I also don't want to jinx it by putting a high number.
I always go high,
But I'd say 12 is usually the number that I'm hoping for. So.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Cardinals can pull 5. 5. That's a successful season for us.
5?
The Smurf can't do it.
No. Didn't they pick up a quarterback? No?
Yeah, they did. I can't think of his name. But, they're the same old Cardinals.
The question is, can this new quarterback see over his offensive line?
Right.
Let's hope he's 6 foot. Let's just move him up to 6 foot. Or we need smaller linemen. Make all our linemen 5'8", and he's fine. He can see. I don't know how good they're going to do.
Probably not.
But the Lions are fun to watch, and that coach is fun.
Oh, Dan Gamble, you've heard a lot of players talk about he's the guy that you run through a brick wall for. He gets you so amped up, and he's a player's coach. That's the words that they use for him, and he truly is. And I know a lot of people, even some big Lions fans, question some decisions. Whether to go when he went for it a couple times, even in the NFC Championship game. It's like, you know what though? That's the mentality that got them where they were.
Yeah, that's who they are.
Why change it at the last minute?
And I like it. Some of these coaches, they go conservative. and playing to not lose instead of playing to win, and that can bite you in the butt. Every time during the end of the game, these defenses go into prevent defenses, and the offense just picks them apart. Goes down
15, 20-yard check.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing
going by
the whole
book,
game.
though, it makes you safe.
Yeah,
You're doing
but
what you should be
I don't
doing.
like safe. I like keeping that foot on the throttle and finishing the game. And,
That's why you always liked Tom Brady, wasn't it?
yeah, love Tom Brady. Speaking of Tom Brady, have you watched the Tom Brady roast?
Yes.
Oh, my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't watch it. I've seen highlights. But I didn't watch it.
It's like 2.5 hours of just my jaw hurting from laughing.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it's brutal. It
See,
is.
It's not for everyone.
It is brutal.
I don't know how they get away with it.
I don't either, but I love it. We ought to do a Joe Ryan roast.
Well, let's start with you.
Oh, I can't say it on there. I guess you can say stuff on there, can't we, Jim? Yeah. But one thing
Until
with
they shut us
the
down.
Lions, how I kind of, obviously I'm a Bears fan and don't, I want the Bears to win the division, but watching Hard Knocks when the Lions are on it, and I'm excited this year because the Bears are doing it.
Yeah, I'm not.
And you
It's the
get
first time I'm not going to watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah. Well, I watched it with the Lions, and you kind of, you see behind the scenes, and it's a little more personable. These guys are people too, and they're going through struggles just like anybody else would in the workforce, where they're fighting for a job and unsure. And the Hard Knocks is great.
I think Hard Knocks, when the Lions were on it, probably single-handedly saved one of our players' jobs because he had such a good story. And Craig Reynolds, our third-string running back, he had such a good story about his brother was in prison and all this stuff, and then he became like a fan favorite, and the team wasn't going to let that kind of guy go.
Yeah.
So
And wasn't the Lions the one guy that got up and sang?
Yes.
Beat it or
well, Hutchison got up and
Hutchison
danced.
Eminem, wasn't it? Or
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean. Billie
Yeah,
Jean.
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be definitely watching Hard Knocks this year. The Bears.
See, it's just more glory for that new QB of yours.
Hey, we'll take all the glory we can get. It may not last long, but you got
He
to.
better produce.
Yeah, I hope he does. I do.
Yeah, well, I'm not anti-Bear. Just
You're not anti anybody. The biggest bandwagon jumper, Joe Ryan. He'll jump on that bandwagon. He'll throw somebody off to get on.
hey, I have teams I don't like.
Who?
I don't mind
Name
the
one
Bears.
team you just cannot stand.
Not in the NFC West.
Yeah, well, Seattle's tough for me to take.
You don't like Pete Carroll over there?
I just don't like the division rivalry.
I don't like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, who does?
See, I never liked the Cowboys because that used to be in NFC East, and that was a big rival of the Cardinals, so I just never liked the Cowboys. But I don't hate on them, Sometimes I really, it's about the team that year and who's doing good things and all that, and I kind of like it. I could be drawn into being a Cowboy fan, but
Well, I'm a Bears fan, and then whoever's playing the Packers.
yeah. See, that mentality is wrong.
Well, that's my mentality.
Is that the same? Do you have the same thing from the Lions? You don't like the Bears?
Yeah, I've always said that the only thing worse than a Cardinal or a Cowboy fan is a Bear fan. So
Well,
Football Cardinal?
no.
you better hope
Baseball.
we don't do well this year because I'm gonna be all over you. I'm gonna be texting you, calling you.
Your name will be mentioned many times.
I'll take it because go back 3 or 4 years ago as a Lions fan, when you got your butt whooped, nobody said anything to you because it always happened and they felt bad for you.
Yeah. Hey, I can take it. If you can dish it out, you better know how to take it too. And that's why I don't really gloat and I just kind of go with it. But I will predict them high, and then more times than not, I'm wrong. Just like this show, more times I'm wrong than I'm right.
Well, there's truth in that.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed
we
to
know
say
this. We have no Jake today, and
Yeah.
he's even calling in.
it.
or anything.
You better stop by and check on him.
Oh, I'm not stopping by there. There's always something crazy going on over that
Yeah,
house.
it's probably went to some crazy concert last
He
night.
could be in that pool in the backyard.
He could be wiped out from last weekend. 3 or 4 nights of concerts for the old guy.
Yeah, I think he went every day. Did
I think so.
you get over to tailgates?
No.
No, he says
I am.
no.
I am not a public type of person, and I definitely do not like country music. So
I think we're on the.
All right,
so
you're
we
a
have
rocker?
something that we agree with there.
So who's your band? Tell us that.
if I had to pick a favorite band, I guess it varies from day to day, but Shinedown maybe.
So you're in the metal.
Yeah.
Shinedown, Breaking Bench, Seven Dust was in Quincy last night. We should have went to Quincy last night, Joe.
Could have ran the show from there.
Yeah.
So when were you born? What year?
84.
I just wondered.
84.
You missed a lot of the rock legends, but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean I still grew up with them though.
Yeah, your dad was pushing some of the rock legends on you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a really big Kiss fan.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah, heck. I mean, yeah, so was I.
Next
Still
Saturday
am.
night.
Where are they at next Saturday night?
Next Saturday night, Ace Frehley's playing in Decatur.
Oh, really? You going?
Yeah. How many times you go see the original?
You going to dress up?
Yeah.
You going to put makeup on and
I've
everything?
got my Kiss shirt.
You going to put makeup on?
I might paint half my face.
Different from your usual makeup.
Yeah.
They can't hear you, Lloyd.
Oh, we can hear him.
No, I think it's cool. The original guitars from Kiss. I mean, how my lands. Why wouldn't everybody go? This whole group ought to be going.
Where's it at?
I've never been there. Some little place in Decatur. It's not that Devon. It's something else. Can't think of the name of it. But
Usually good to know where you're going.
well, my buddy got the tickets. And
Oh,
he's
your
in
buddy.
Decatur, and I haven't
Yep.
even seen the tickets.
There he is, his buddy.
Another buddy.
Another buddy.
Yeah.
They're only buddies if they give him stuff. That's why we're not his buddy, Lloyd.
Well, I was gonna say, what have you given me?
Nothing. Just
I
heartache.
ask for a little help. Can't get it out of you. You're always busy doing something else.
Well, busy guy, Joe. Don't get us sit around in an office all day
We
and
need to call Jake.
watch
and ask
horse
if we can-
racing.
We need to call Jake and borrow that Jeep.
We should. He's probably going on. Maybe he's getting her all
He is
cleaned up
going
for the
on-
run today.
He's going on the run today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he told me.
How many ducks you have in that Jeep? What's that all about?
I don't know. I'm not much into the Jeep culture. All I know is randomly I'll walk out to my vehicle and there'll be a duck on my windshield wiper. I throw them on the dash. I think I've got a couple just like stored away in the center console because there's too many. But I don't understand where. I don't know where it comes from. But you see some people, their entire dash is.
Oh yeah.
I think my ducks are getting ready to retire. I'm gonna text my wife today, say, hey, hand out those ducks today. Yeah, I mean I've got all different shapes and sizes, and I mean I think somebody put a duck about this big. There's a huge duck in a hockey uniform. It said Missouri Water on it, like the Missouri Water Company.
First time Jake, long time caller.
Speaking of Jake, Jake, we're gonna have to write you up today. No call, no show. So that is a point
First
against you,
offense.
and it is a $5,000 fine. We take cash only.
So we will be withholding 1/2 of a month's pay.
Yes,
Well, what do you mean $5,000 fine?
for no call, no show. He didn't call. That was after start times.
You're right. He did call.
Can you hear me now?
There's
Yeah,
a technicality there.
Unfortunately, yes, we can. What's going on, Jake? What's?
I can barely hear you guys, but getting ready for the Jeep run today.
Yeah, that's what we thought. So what's the Jeep
I
run?
thought you guys would want to be riding with me. I had no idea that. I figured you guys would at least offer to ride with me, but no, I'll just find some strays to take along with me.
Well, you got to invite us. We're not just going to invite ourselves.
Or you got a bike, Joe. That's odd.
Yeah.
I have a wedding. I can't go.
Joe's getting remarried. He's renewing his vows.
Yeah, here he goes. Here's all the excuses.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no excuses.
Should be a fun time today, fellas. There's a lot of people showing up out here.
Yeah, where are you at now?
Currently, we'll call it packing the Jeep.
No, you don't have to open the store today? That's convenient.
Yeah.
No, I have some fantastic employees that are going to take care of the store today.
But next week, you'll have to leave
You have to
early.
open, won't
You'll
you?
have to open.
Next week, I'll also have some fantastic employees watching the store.
Oh,
Well, then you can shut this down next week.
yeah. You can help us clean up.
Really?
Yeah. So what's
Where
on?
will we be next week?
We don't know till Friday. When Jim sends out the
Probably
text.
Jake's Furnishings.
Probably.
Probably is.
Yeah. What's on the agenda? What stops are you making today? Do you know? Is there a map, an agenda?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know there's an agenda. We start out there at the Legion, and then I believe we're heading to Atlanta, followed by Hartsburg, then New Holland, and then Middletown, I believe.
So you don't really know.
I don't really know. I just kind of follow everybody in the lead, and you stop for certain things, and you just try to raise money for a fantastic cause, and hope you do well, and that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about, raising money for a good cause, and nobody better to be involved in Jake.
Lots of cold water.
Yeah, cold water.
You gonna have a lot of cold water?
Got it. Hydration is very important on days like today. I don't know if you've seen the heat, what it's going to be like, but hydration will be a big key today. All
right, well, stay hydrated. And we asked Sam this question a little bit ago. How many ducks do you have, and what's up with the duck thing? You have any Jake's Furnishings ducks?
I've got two of those 3D imagery ducks, which are really cool, and then I've got probably about, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 more.
Well, if you see Sam White's Jeep somewhere, he'd like to have more ducks. If you could dump them in.
If you could donate a duck or two to Sam, he loves his ducks. He's got them all in a row.
As many as you can get.
I have.
He's got all those ducks in a row.
I have a bag of about 100 we'll be throwing out today.
He would love. 20. He said 20 to 25 of them. If you could dump them at his.
Yeah, I mean, you want as many ducks as you can get.
Yeah.
The 3D ducks are the coolest ones, though. They're like
3D
hard plastic. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
So are you.
You are too.
I hope you have your shirt on. Says I'm awesome today.
Yes. And I love ducks.
I have mine cut off just up the belly button.
Yep.
Okay. That's what we'd like to see. Is it a medium?
Yep. It is a medium, actually. And I do have some great shorty shorts on. I think many will appreciate.
Sweet.
And then I've got some Jerusalem Cruiser sandals with tall socks.
Well, put a little ribbon in your hair and cut those sleeves off so you can get those muscles out too.
And tie that shirt in a knot down at the bottom. That'd be cute too.
Well, it'd be hard to tie it in a knot. I got the belly's holding it back.
Oh, okay. So no knots. All right, well, Jake, stay hydrated, have fun on your run, and spend some money, will you?
That's the plan, man.
You should get the guys here at the show something really nice.
Just something really nice, Clark.
Huh.
Yeah.
Some kind of partying gift. We'll work on that.
Yeah, just get a few beverages in you, and you'll just be spending like crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to wait for the beverages?
Okay, we'll see.
Well, no, you don't have to wait. You can get primed up now, but I'm just saying, we have a better opportunity and chance of getting something nice if you have a lot of beverages in you.
Well, I mean, we started the beverages early because we had to get the Jeep ready, so it's go time. We'll just say that.
All right. Well, have fun, be safe, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great, man.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Sam, thanks for coming in, taking some time discussing youth football. Camp coming up once again. You have a Facebook page they can go to if they want to sign up and get all the information.
If you just search for Lincoln Youth Football, you'll find us, and then email is lincolnyouthfootball@yahoo.com.
Okay, actually, yeah. So get your kids signed up, get them out of the house, get them out there playing some football. And that's going to do it for us today. Joe, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and enjoy your
lemon and waffle. Thanks again.
Lemon and waffle, nice and cold. All right, that's it for the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
Good day.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.